listening to The Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, this is Ian.
I'm Daryl.
And this is The Announcer's Table, presented by RingIcon.com. You can check us out every Friday. We're posting this on RingIcon.com/podcast. You can also check it out on YouTube at YouTube.com/RingIcon. You can also get the audio podcast, subscribing to it on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on iTunes, if you just search Ring Icon in the podcast store. So that's where you can find us every Friday. Last week we actually talked about ways to promote your brand as a promotion and mic skills as a wrestler. We also had some great conversation about Matt Hardy and the Ring of Honor stuff going on in the Indy Scene, and then we talked about the pay-per-view backlash, or not backlash, but payback with the WWE. So that's what we had last week. If you didn't see it, go back and watch it. And like I said, you can catch us on all those stations. So yeah, what do we got coming up?
Well, upcoming to this show, we have the Promotion Builder, where we're talking about promotional pictures. We have the Gimmick Builder, where we're going to talk about let me check. We're going to talk about interacting with the fans. I also have the results from the Ring of Honor pay-per-view that just happened over the past weekend. Yeah. We have star Quality Josh Vaughn on as our guest, and we're introducing a new segment called the Announcer's Take, which I'm pretty excited about. Yeah,
we're just going to review some products or DVDs, products, whatever is going on. You know, if we have to buy it or you have to buy it, we want you to know about it before you buy it. So.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into the show. Ian, you got anything for us in Ring Icon news?
Yeah, I want to reiterate again, we have our app that's in the Android App Store or the Google Play Store. You just search Ring Icon. It's probably a few down because it's brand new, but just check out if you have an Android phone, you can get the app, which will get you the fastest stuff that's not on that is on the website. It just posts it directly to the app, so that's pretty cool. We also want to talk about the website, and we're always trying to. You can actually see the website here.
Website's right there.
So if you haven't been on it, this is the website, and it's RingIcon.com. We're always trying to improve it. Take feedback. I know a couple months ago somebody was like, "Man, I wish we could put our music on our profiles." And 2 days later, we had it so that you could put your upload music to your profile. So, anything you can think of, we'll try to get done, Can't guarantee everything, but we're working on it all the time to improve it. So,
yeah, I'm excited. Some new stuff coming up. We just added a new feature. If you hover over the name, it'll pop up a bigger screenshot of the person that you're hovering over and what they are, where they're from, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
You want to give them an example real quick? See, it pops up like this right here. This happens to be our guest that we have on the show, Josh Vaughn. You can see he's a wrestler in Georgia, and it tags you right here what you are, a wrestler. So I'm excited. That's a new little feature. And like Ian was saying, anything you think we can do to improve the site is for y'all. Let us know.
Yeah, we're always trying to improve it. So that's about it for Ring Icon news. So let's get right into Promotion Builder. We're talking about promotional picks today. What do you got?
Well, my thing with promotional pictures is when you make a flyer, you want to have a good picture of like the people you're having on your show. You don't want just some like off the wall picture that makes no sense, or they're not in gear. You always definitely want to make sure they're like in their attire, they're dressed how they wrestle, like in their gimmick.
Yeah.
So, and I think it definitely helps if the pictures look professional. If somebody knows how to, what you called it earlier, I can't think of it now, digitally.
Yeah, editing. Digitally enhancing.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that the color's right and the it's not too dark or not too bright, things like that. Somebody knows how to edit those, because there's a million people now that know how to correct the colors with images just because they're correcting their kids'
Ask
images.
your 13-year-old cousin. I guarantee you,
yeah,
he or she probably knows.
Yeah, your kids probably know the computer better than you do. So, I mean, if they can help you out, that's great. So,
and and like if you have some people that have like a really nice camera, have them come in and set up a backdrop and take some pictures. Let them digitally enhance the photos, because I think it'd be neat. I'll use our guest that we have, his name is Quality Josh Vaughn. So like, if he had like a promotional picture and like you could add Star Quality across it, which is his gimmick, and that's on the flyer, and also like you can print those out and you can sell them at the show for a couple of bucks, to your fans and stuff like that. I think that's a very great idea. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I used to have like an 8.5 by 11 that I went and I printed on, glossy paper, and you sell it for a couple bucks, and then the fans have something that they can bring up to you and get you to sign it in Sharpie. And so, I mean, that's something we'll talk about it later with the interacting with fans. But I mean, having something for the fans to sign and to hold, to take home, because it's really about, the experience with the show.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, if you have good pictures, like he was saying, he had one. My mom was one of his biggest fans and still has that autographed picture, still plasters up, which is kind of embarrassed to say that, but it's true. I have mine on the ceiling, right above my bed. But I mean, it was a good thing. The audience members loved it because he was a top baby. The people loved to see him. It was a good looking picture. He went by at that time the rookie sensation, so that was tagged on there. He was in his whole gimmick, and it was a good shot. And you sell him for a couple of bucks, that could make you some money, and put some gas in the tank, and that's what it's really all about, is the love for doing this business and getting it better and doing more things.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even get those, if you don't have a good printer at home, you can go and get those printed at a Kinko's or there's no
CVS,
longer.
Walgreens.
Yeah, I mean, Walmart does them. I mean, everywhere has the picture printers now that can really print really good quality pictures. So
I come to Ian's house.
Yeah, I mean, I have the printers, but not everybody has a really good printer or really good paper, because you usually just don't buy one sheet of paper. They usually come in a stack of 50, and that costs a little bit of money. So you could get them printed a lot cheaper at a store, So I don't know. But along with the pictures, like we were saying with the posters, I really think my favorite is when you have somebody that really knows Photoshop or some kind of video or picture editing, and you'll be able to cut out the person, take out the background from them, and because then you don't have the distraction of the background. You also don't have the constraints of a square picture, or a rectangular picture. You can use natural forms of them. It just looks really good when you have really colorful background with the character there, without the background really interrupting. So
so I mean, just that's something to think about. Once again, this is our opinion. That's something to think about. Y'all have different opinions or think there's something else y'all could add to it, just shoot us a message, and we'll put it up. But I really think that's a good thing to have at the shows.
Yeah, definitely. Quality pictures will definitely improve the show. It'll improve your marketing, your brand, everything. It just takes you to that next level, which is what we're here for. We want to see all these independent shows and promoters and wrestlers take it to the next level, because if you don't, we're just going to stay stagnant, and your fan base will start to drop off and things like that. So, we really want to help you grow, and I think pictures is one of the big things that will help you promote the show, because if that's the first impression, if a person sees a poster and it looks like crap and your pictures are crap, or your wrestlers look like they're just wearing street clothes, no one's going to want to come to that.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm walking by a venue that has a wrestling poster up and 90% of the workers on the poster are in just blue jeans and tennis shoes and look like they're in street clothes, and they're on this flyer, that kind of turns me off. That's just, to me, that's bad marketing. You don't want to put those kind of pictures on your flyer because you want to get people interested in it.
Yeah.
And part of that is being in your gear and being in your gimmick. And I mean, I know I get excited, and like, you know, we visit a lot of shows, and we've been to numerous shows, and we see so many wrestlers that sometimes we can't remember all their names.
Right.
But we always remember what they look like.
Yeah.
And so if I happen to see you come across another flyer, you know, we're thinking, like, if we're debating a show to go to, you know, and we don't really recognize the names, but if we see, like, oh, dude, we saw him at such and such show, so let's go check this one out.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's fans are going to be the same way. So if they see, you know, they may not remember your name because they may go to a lot of shows, or you may not do the same venue all the time. But if they see you and they're like, oh, you know, we really enjoyed his match last time, you know, they'll want to come check that out.
Yeah. And I mean, promotional pictures, I mean, we're talking about it in the promotion builder, but as a gimmick, as a character, you need to have those pictures for yourself. I mean, if you know you're doing a show in a month from now, I mean, you need to give those pictures to the promoter so that they can get something done, you know? I mean, as a gimmick, as a character, you need to have really good quality pictures. You're an actor. That's your headshot. You know what I mean? That's your audition. You know, I mean, other than your video of wrestling and things like that, your look is what's going to get you booked. So, I mean, you need to have really good quality pictures. So, I mean,
all right. Well, like I said, if y'all have any other things y'all want to add to it, shoot us a message, drop us a line, and let us know.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to take a quick break, and then you'll catch it in
We'll be
just
right
a second.
back with our guest, Josh Vaughn. We're fixing to set that up.
All right.
All right, on the phone we have right now Star Quality Josh Vaughn. Josh, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. You got me and Ian here. We're going to ask you a couple of questions and chit-chat with you a little bit. Let me ask you, how long have you been in the wrestling business?
I've been roughly around coming up on my 7th year in the wrestling business. I trained for a whole year, you know. I'm still training, of course. You know, we learn new stuff every time we get in the ring.
Yeah, that's cool. Who did you get trained by, or who's kind of mentoring you?
Well, Sean H did most of my training, but you know, a lot of guys helped out. I mean, including Crazy, Johnny Blaze, Wes Blaze, of course, Joey Otto, Bear, a lot of different guys from TWA, and it was really intense, number one, and I've came a long way since then.
Yeah. And, I mean, one of the things I noticed is that a couple months ago you were injured. How are you doing from that, and what happened with that?
That was back in October of last year. I broke the bottom of my tibia where it meets the cartilage of the ankle. Oof. And I made 100% comeback on it, so no problems at all.
Oh,
wow,
great.
that just sounds painful.
Yeah.
Sounds painful. As y'all are watching right now, y'all can see we have this awesome video highlight package going on of Josh Vaughn, highlighting a lot of his matches. So coming up, you'll actually see a whole match during the interview process. Josh, what made you want to become or get into professional wrestling?
Well, number one is I remember when I was a little kid, you know, my dad used to take me to old WCW shows when they came to Chattanooga and Atlanta. And I just loved it. I've been around it my whole life. Like every week I watched wrestling when I was a kid. I told my dad, I want to be one, you know, I want to be one, you know. As soon as I got old enough to get on my own and stuff, I found a trainer and everything. So it's been really great.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to go into a couple of questions real quick, and then we'll do some more chit-chatting with you and find out what you got going on. Let me ask you, Josh, what is your favorite gimmick match?
My favorite gimmick match of all time is the ladder match. I mean, there's so much you can do with that match right there. From high spots to technical spots for the ladders. I mean, it's like really great to work with.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of my favorite matches of all time are ladder matches.
Yeah,
with,
Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, any
The
of the
Hardys
TLC,
with
any
the
of the tag
Dudleys.
team TLC matches I love.
Right.
So.
I mean, like like one of the big matches coming up, you know, WWE has their Money in the Bank, which involves ladders. They have ladder pay-per-views all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, and what's crazy is that every time I watch one, a new something new comes out of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, like, there's always people innovating new things with ladder matches. So I mean, it's always great to see. I mean,
I love them. I mean, I like watching them because it's like you said, it's always something different. So.
Right. I mean, like I said, the sky's the limit with a ladder match.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you could wrestle anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Well, right now there are 3 people, and the first one's AJ Styles. Number one, his charisma, the way he does his moves and everything. I would love to get in the ring with him and learn new stuff. The second one was my all-time favorite, Chris Jericho, and the third one is the man, Dean Malenko.
Oh yeah.
You know, I gotta say, Josh, I've actually, or Ian and I both have actually had the privilege of watching you wrestle several times at different venues that we've been to, and honestly, I think you and AJ Styles could have a pretty good match. I think y'all could pull off some cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So
that would be awesome, you know. You know, it may happen because, you know, the way he is on the Indy Scene, too, you know. Oh, yeah. He does every now and then an Indy show.
Oh, absolutely. Now, let me ask you this, Josh. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
That would be Chris Jericho from the old Japan days where he was wrestling Chris Benoit, you know, and back then Tiger Mask and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still love watching him today on WWE, but he has kind of, you know, well, especially lately, he's only been wrestling Fandango, and
Fandango's hurt now.
Well,
so.
I mean, you know, for the last couple of months, but I mean, that hasn't been too spectacular. But yeah, definitely the Japanese days and ECW days when he was with ECW was amazing.
You know, his old stuff like goes, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I like seeing his transformation throughout all the years. You know, I remember him in his original ECW days. I remember him when he first came into WCW. Then obviously everybody remembers when he made his debut in WWE. You know, with, The Rock was in the ring cutting a promo and
like
come out.
Crazy kid coming out of nowhere, you know.
Yeah.
The only thing I wish he would still do is his Lion Tamer, or the Walls of Jericho, is kind of weaker now. It's more like a Boston Crab now than it. I mean, he used to put the knee on the head, you know.
He does it a lot different now than he used to. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I love Jericho. I've
always absolutely.
Loved him, so, what is your favorite wrestling moment that you can think of?
My opponent.
Your moment, your favorite moment.
That's a hard one right now. The best one I went up against is, let me think, there's so many, it's like crazy. It would have been, Zach Malone, if you ever heard of him. So, yeah, Zach Malone. Me and him had some great matches, so.
That's cool. Yeah, what I actually was saying was your favorite moment of.
My moment. I thought you said my
opponent. There you go. Opponent is a good question too.
Yeah, we never really thought about that.
So.
But okay, my favorite moment was so far all of them's been really great. But if I had to choose one, it would be against my trainer, Sean Rage. We wrestled back in DCW a couple years back. In a casket match, it was like one of the best matches in my whole career.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling your trainer, like I wrestled, I mean, one of my main trainers was Scott Prater, and I wrestled him a lot, you know, while I was training, and then we would put on shows every Saturday, so I ended up working him a lot. And wrestling your trainer is just like one of the best feelings, because you know, you're always innovating with each other and bouncing off of each other, and so I mean, wrestling your trainer is always, you know, one of the best experiences.
Well, that's the totally opposite of me. Back in a couple of years ago, whenever we did wrestle each other, that's actually the second time we ever stepped in the ring with each other.
Oh, wow.
The first one was whenever I first started as an introduction, and then that one, he told me he was really proud of me and how far I came.
That's great.
Wow. Now, Josh, what is your most embarrassing moment that has happened to you in wrestling?
the number one that comes to me is whenever I do my springboards in and stuff like that, is tripping on the ropes.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
It can be covered, but it's very hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a tough thing to pull off, especially, towards an end of a match when you're getting a little bit of blown up, and then next thing you know, you're just not. I mean, in some rings, the ropes are spread out a lot differently than other
They're more
rings.
loose.
Yeah.
And...
So.
Right, I understand.
Yeah. So there's a lot of variations that can, screw that up, but I can understand that. What is your favorite finisher or wrestling move?
The new move I've been using here lately is a leg lock where you bridge back and hook the head. It's a submission move. That's one of my favorite submission. I got two favorite finishers. Number one is the Canadian Destroyer. It's a flipping pile driver, which is really devastating on video if you ever watch one.
Oh, yeah.
The second one is my finisher. It's the springboard code breaker. Yeah, up Jericho, I didn't directly steal it from Jericho. I just went up with it. So it's something new.
Yeah, we've actually talked about the Canadian Destroyer several times on the show.
I think Daryl said that that's his favorite move. Well,
it was.
Until Daryl started
It was
watching.
until I became a big fan of Kevin Steen, and now it's the package pile driver, which is utterly insane.
Right.
But,
Well, I've took it many a times. I ain't never gave it. I've took it, so, from many guys. So it's been really great. So it's great on video, like I said.
Yeah, I've actually done it the opposite. I've given the flipping pile driver, but I've never taken it. So,
but you got to have a lot of trust in who you're with to pull something and do something like that.
Because the wrong move and break your neck.
Oh yeah. So.
Now, who is your favorite champion of all time? And it doesn't have to be heavyweight champion. It could be tag team, United States champion, Intercontinental, whatever.
Chris Jericho when he first became the undisputed champion.
Oh, against the Rock and Stone Cold?
Really great. That's like the first time you ever seen that.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
I wish they would. I wish they would combine the WWE title and the heavyweight title now, because I think they're kind of pointless having two separate ones. I know they won't do it. But,
I don't think it's the WWE universe now. It should just be WWE, not the world no more. But
yeah,
how it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we wish we could change about it, but that's why we do independent. You know what I mean? That's our world. I mean, they can't touch us.
No.
So,
right.
I mean, that's what the power of the independent scene is. So yeah. Well, if you could consider somebody overrated or underrated, who would you think that would be?
I got both of them. The overrated, I think, is The Rock. I mean, besides The Undertaker, who goes out, leaves wrestling for a while, comes back, gets put straight into the biggest angle, and then leaves again, and comes back and does it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, nowadays he is completely overrated.
Yeah, I really can't disagree with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a couple of weeks ago we did our questions, and I said that, one of my favorite wrestlers is The Rock, but it's more of The Rock from, the Attitude Era. I love The Rock.
I mean,
back
that
then.
time he was a full-time wrestler. Now he's a movie star, and that makes a lot of difference. He's got a different job, and he's more of a, let's see, what is it, when you bring somebody in just for a couple of months, kind of ordeal, Illuminati, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like crazy how they can bring him and put him in the biggest storylines, and then he leaves again.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, well, I heard they was planning on using him for next WrestleMania, and I just heard a rumor that he's actually going to be filming a movie that's going to run right through all the WrestleMania build-up and WrestleMania itself. So he may not actually be a part of it next year.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be crying about it. I mean, Josh, what is
hold on. He said he had a underrated.
Who's your underrated?
I have an underrated. Zack Ryder now. This guy has full potential of being one of the top stars, and they are not doing nothing with him.
Yeah, I mean, they're really killing his character.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because I remember when he started the whole YouTube videos and so like that, he started building his own character. Then they brought him back with a good, stories and started doing some push. And now it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if his character is ever going to go anywhere.
I mean, they brought him out as a jobber now here lately. I don't know why. I mean, he gets a few moves in, that's it. I mean, back months ago, he was with John Cena, and they was trying to push him a little bit, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like crazy.
Well, you never know what the.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he could have, made somebody mad in the back or something. The whole politic thing that goes on in wrestling. So, I mean, you never know.
Politics.
Yep.
All right, now, who is your favorite tag team or stable of all time?
I gotta say, the Four Horsemen. They kept going for years and years. They were some of the best wrestlers out there.
I'm not gonna. I mean, that's not my favorite, but I mean, I'm not gonna knock that one. That's definitely a top-notch choice. Mine happens to be the Freebirds.
Yeah. Well, the Four Horsemen.
That was my second choice. I mean, I remember as a kid watching the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Dean Malenko, all them guys. I mean, they were great.
Well,
they got the storylines. They were some of the best skills, some of the best babies at too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody that got close to, Ric Flair, I mean, he just made people look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the rest of them didn't look good. But when all four of them were together with the Four Horsemen, I mean, it's just like bam.
Now let's break this one down real quick, Josh. What is your favorite incarnation of the Four Horsemen?
My favorite, it was really Ric Flair, Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson, and it hasn't been when Anderson was in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't. That's not. I mean, that's a strong set right there. I mean, Ian, his favorite was when Mongo McMichael was in the Four Horsemen and walked around with a little dog in his lap all the time.
No, that's not.
I'm just kidding. But I think my favorite outside of the original, my next favorite would have to be when Barry Windham was a part of them.
Yeah.
Because I really like Barry Windham. I thought he was a great worker. Thought he was a great entertainer, wrestler. I mean, I thought he just had the whole package. I mean, I thought he was really good, and I thought he did some of his best work with the Four Horsemen.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, last question is, if you could think of a favorite catchphrase that someone's ever said, independent or pro, do you have a favorite catchphrase?
I already have it. It's the easiest word to say, yes and no. And Daniel Bryan has brought it to a new level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he starts doing his kicks and stuff.
Baby, the crowd is all over that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whenever he starts doing his kicks and they start chanting, yes, yes, yes. I mean, it blows the crowd up.
Well, I like that he has now gone back to the yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And he's back to his yes, yes, yes shirt and got rid of the whole no, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Daniel Bryan. I think he's a phenomenal athlete.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've been watching, but the last couple of weeks, last Monday on Raw, the Monday before on Raw, and SmackDown, he's been working Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And they've put on some really good matches. I mean, it's been really amazing between Randy Orton and...
the connection in their way they work each other, I mean, it's like so great. He's from the Indies too, I watched back on YouTube here a couple days ago where he was against El Generico, and they did this whole beginning spot, a hugging spot. It had the Ring of Honor fans into it. It's a hugging spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I was talking to Ian last week, and I don't know if we said this on the show or not, but there's this DVD that I just got that it has Colt Cabana and Daniel Bryan, and I can never think of the other guy's name because he's not really a big guy. But it was when Daniel Bryan just got signed to WWE, and he was finishing up his last 10 days or whatever with Ring of Honor. And so it follows, like this camera crew literally follows him for like 10 days, and they do like several different shows. It's a really, really good DVD.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really good wrestler. I really enjoy watching him.
Everybody loves him as a worker, so.
Yeah. Now, Josh, what do you have coming up here in the next couple of weeks?
This coming Saturday, I have actually a birthday party to wrestle at during the day. And then that night, I'll be at RCW. The week after that is the week of the 5th. That Friday night, I'll be working at SCW in Port Overthorpe. And then the week after that, I'll be back at RCW. And I think it's the 13th, I'm going to be at NEW.
Okay.
At their,
you got a full plate.
Yeah, they got a NEW has a new show coming up.
When bookings pop up and they want me, I'll say, if I got an open date, I'll go to it.
Yeah.
Well, I know, I follow you on Facebook, and I see, and like Ian and I was talking today as we was getting ready for the show, and you're all over the place, man. You're like, you debuted at SCW a couple of weeks ago. You're at RCW, NEW.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
I mean, it's been a long ride, 7 years. I've loved it. This business has been good to me, except for a couple broken bones here and there. But, all I can do is get right back up and go do it again, have fun, do my thing.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the first time Ian and I got to watch you wrestle was at an NEW event, and he was wrestling Ryan Andrews. And I remember Ian and I, we was the guest announcers, or guest, we was the announcers.
I remember that, yes.
And I remember talking to Ian during yours and Ryan's match, that was a really good match.
Yeah.
Y'all both looked really good.
Well, thank you very much for that. And, with Ryan Andrews, he's 10 times bigger than I am, number one. And it's hard for a small guy and big guy to work sometimes. You have to come up with new stuff, so I think that's what we did.
Yeah. All right, well, Josh, you know what? I want to thank you for being on the show. We look forward to seeing you at other events that we go to. I know Ian and I have been talking about trying to get up to RCW event and a couple other places up in North Georgia we're trying to get to the next couple of weeks. So thanks for coming on, man, and hope you enjoyed the show. Tell everybody to check it out and check out your video pack. Right now you got the matches playing, so the match that you did is playing right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have everybody check out my YouTube page. It's under Josh Vaughn. I'll be posting highlight reels and matches every week, so if they want to watch me on there, that'll be fun too.
Yeah. All right, we'll put a link on the page for that, so y'all go check out Josh Vaughn's YouTube page. We'll put a link. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, we'll also put a link to Josh's Ring Icon page, because he's pretty active on Ring Icon, which is
absolutely.
Great. So.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll see y'all next event. And it's been great, and it's been my pleasure to talking to y'all today and answering your questions.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you later, Josh.
All right, thanks.
Not a problem, man. Man, I want to thank Josh Vaughn for coming on and being on the show. I thought that was a pretty good interview. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a great wrestler, and I mean, he's really good on the microphone when we've heard him talk on the mic, and it was a great interview to hear about some of the stuff he's been through. I mean, coming back from an injury, because I saw the picture of
I saw that picture
of
when he had
his
it pulled
staples and stitches in his knee or in his leg, and man, that looked rough.
Yeah, it looked rough.
So I mean, coming back from that and without a problem is great. So.
Well, if you're in the Georgia area, North Georgia area specifically, check him out. Go to the show that he's at and watch him. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
Or if you're a promoter, I mean, I'm sure
if you're a promoter, definitely book him.
Yeah, I mean, he is I would recommend him as a great wrestler. So I mean, check him out.
And I mean, he gets a crowd into it. The crowd loves him everywhere he goes. He really gets into it.
Yeah.
So next we want to talk about in our Gimmick Builder. You want to talk about interacting with the fans?
Yeah, I mean, kind of take some stuff we talked about earlier and take it into the Gimmick Builder. Interacting with the fans and making. What we really want to talk about is that if people want to watch wrestling, they're usually just going to watch WWE.
Yeah.
99% of the fans for wrestling are WWE fans. I hate to say it. That's just how it is. They can sit at home and watch wrestling, and they can be somewhat entertained from that.
Yeah.
People go to independent shows for an experience.
Exactly.
And promoters, wrestlers, refs, everybody has a hand into giving that kid, that adult, that fan an experience.
Yeah, because in all honesty, like we talk about this a lot. We've been to a lot of shows and we discuss this, and even when we go to the shows as Ring Icon, okay, and the promoters know we're coming and we're taking pictures for the website and stuff like that. Even going like that for me is still about the experience.
Yeah.
And because we talk about this every time we leave the show, we talk about, we'll discuss it, especially if it's a really good show, we'll discuss it for a couple of days thereafter, and if I'm that way, everybody else has to be that way too for the most part.
And especially little kids. A lot of the shows we go to are kid oriented, family friendly, that kind of thing. And, kids, they want to have that experience of meeting the wrestlers and being front row, because a lot of parents aren't going to pay a couple $100 to sit front row at a WWE.
Gosh,
no. It's not going to happen. So kids get to go front row to a wrestling show, and it just changes their perception of wrestling. I remember going to an independent show when I was I didn't go to any when I was little, but I went to one indie show when I was, 12 or 13 maybe. And it was awesome because one thing they did was they gave out a blank sheet of paper that just had the promotion's name on it, and it was a blank sheet with the promotion's name and a border. And then you could take that to all the wrestlers and get it signed,
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so it was really cool. And so we got a couple signatures. I think I got like Glacier's signature, at an indie show. And I was like, man, this is Glacier from WCW. And I was like, this is awesome. And it's that experience that, you can... it's very difficult to get from a WWE show.
Yeah.
You either have to have the perfect timing or go to one of the meet and greets, and that's difficult. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as going to an indie show.
Well, I remember a show that we did at NEW. We was the announcers. We talked about that a minute ago.
Yeah.
They had a battle royal, and what they and I'm really impressed by what they did. Is they had a tumbling thing, and they had like
a bingo.
Yeah, like
thing.
a bingo tumbling thing, and they had eggs in there with names in them. And so I remember the promoter, who happens to be Chad Fuller, told me to get all the kids. There was like 16.
There were over like 20 or 30 kids there.
Yeah.
And we could only use,
like 16 or 16, 17 kids or something. And so I had them all lined up. And so each kid got to come up, draw one out, and then like hand me the paper, and I announced the wrestler coming out.
They kind of got to choose what the order was of the show.
They was all like just to see their faces. You was right there beside me. They was ecstatic.
Yeah, and once we got the name, then we counted down, 10 seconds, and the kids would be up there all yelling, 9, 8, 7, and it was great.
Yeah, it was
and
a great experience.
I'm sure those kids remember it, And as wrestlers, you just have to remember that, it's the whole reason you're doing it is, it's fun, but you're doing it to give that fan, whether it's a kid or an adult or whoever, an experience that they're not going to get anywhere else.
Now, and part of that experience, as we discussed in this earlier at dinner, is if you're a baby, okay, and you're big in a promotion, especially if you're like a title holder or something, get to the show early, dress out in your gear, and go meet the people that show up early.
Yeah.
All right, go shake some hands, hug some kids, sign some autographs. All right, then like during intermissions, make sure you're out there.
Yeah.
You know, go out there and meet the kids and the parents and talk to them. And then after the show, you know, go out. I mean, I know you're not going to be in your gear then, obviously, because you're getting ready to go. But I mean, at least go out there and meet the few that are left and talk to them, and because you know what, that's all part of the experience of going. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you promoters right now that if this happens, if you have your guys do this and buy into this philosophy of being there early, meeting the fans as they come in, meeting the fans during intermission, talking to the fans after the show, all right, they will remember that experience. They will tell their friends and have their friends come back.
Yeah.
And you know what that means? More people at the show.
Yep.
Okay? and that's what it's about. It's about creating that experience.
Yeah.
You know, doing the pictures with the kids and the autographs with the kids.
Yeah, and as a
all that stuff.
promotion, if you can, you know, set up an area where you can have like a backdrop or something cool for the fans to, you know, take their pictures with the champion with the title, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And so
and let the kids hold the title some, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like the coolest thing. I remember my nephew, he's 8 or 9 now. I'm a bad uncle. I can't remember how old he is. He's 8 or 9, and his dad's a wrestler. And he still gets so excited going to shows. And now he's grown up in the business because his dad has been a wrestler for like 20-something years. And so he's grown up in the business, and he goes to shows every weekend, and he still gets excited to see the guys that he sees every weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and he still gets excited to hold the title and, you know, and get autographs and do things with the wrestlers and stuff like that. And he does it every weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he still gets excited doing it every weekend for 9 years or however old he is, I mean, the other kids are going to do that.
So, I mean, let's think of some things that people can do or wrestlers can do to, you know, really involve the fans. I mean, like taking pictures, signing autographs.
Talking to them.
Yeah. I mean, well, like, what are some things they could have? Like, promotional pictures we talked about earlier. I mean, things that you could sell. I mean, try not to go outrageous with your prices, but if you have some T-shirts that you could print up and get made, I mean, that's one thing that, you know, you sell them, maybe give one away, I mean, if possible. I definitely have pictures that you can have of yourself that are good glossy photos, you know, different sizes that you can, I mean, maybe some really small ones like baseball card size ones that you could give away. I mean, because they're going to remember that, and they're going to remember you as a character. I mean,
absolutely.
If you have a picture out of, you know, say there's 15 wrestlers, you have one picture and you give it out, they're going to remember you for the next 10 years when they forgot every other wrestler in the back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got this picture. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And you know what I like about both things that we're talking about in Promotion Builder and Gimmick Builder is they really go hand in hand with one another.
Well, yeah, of course, because, I mean, you're not going to have a promotion without the characters or the wrestlers, you know? And so
You're not going to have a promotion without the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want to get the fans to come back and enjoy the show and enjoy that experience. And I mean, I could never. That's one thing I can never stress enough is you want to create an experience. You don't want to just put on a show.
Yeah.
You want to create an experience. You know, that's why like when WWE does WrestleMania, they do the whole WrestleMania Access.
Yeah.
It's like a whole week-long event, pretty much everywhere they go for WrestleMania. Okay, so I mean, they know that. You know, Bound for Glory, TNA, they do a whole thing. You know, because Bound for Glory is their third WrestleMania type event, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Ring of Honor does it. You know, when they go places, they have like a meet and greet and stuff like that, and the fans stay around and talk to the wrestlers. And it's no different at every show you go to. The kids and even some adults want to meet the guys. They want to feel like they want to be in the moment. They want to embrace it. They want to be like, wow, man, we really had a good time. I'm glad I paid that $5 to $8 to get in. Okay, and I'm glad we came and spent either our Friday or Saturday night up here instead of going and doing something else.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, they can go watch a movie anywhere. You know what I mean? If the hot movie is out for the weekend, they can go see that. You know, but they're going to just walk away knowing that they saw a movie. If they can walk away knowing that they met wrestlers, got pictures, you know what I mean, had an experience doing something other than just watching something, you know, then
you know, like I said, it's our opinion. If y'all have a different opinion or think y'all want to add on to ours, drop us a line. Let us know what you think, because obviously we'd like to know what you think. Go to ringicon.com and set it up. You can message either one of us. All right, now, Ian, I'm excited. All right, Ian and I went to dinner earlier, okay, and he was telling me, he goes, Daryl, he goes, I got this new thing I want to do. And I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm like, this is really cool, man. The whole concept about what we're going to be talking about at different times for just this one segment is really neat. So I'm gonna throw it to you. I want you to introduce it.
Yeah, we're gonna call this segment the announcer's take. Okay, it's gonna be our take, our opinion on products. A lot of it could be WWE stuff. You know what I mean? DVDs, merchandise, shows, things like that we've either paid for or watched or spent our time, you know, investing in, that we want to either express to you and say, you know, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, or, you know what I mean, go and watch it, go and do it, you know what I mean? So this week we're actually going to talk about a WWE DVD, and you can actually catch it on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, it's free. There's actually a lot of Netflix wrestling stuff. So this week we're going to do the WWE Top 50 OMG moments, and you know it's really cool because, you know, I watched it and I was like, Daryl, it was pretty good. It was pretty good DVD, you know, that we saw on Netflix, or that I saw on Netflix.
Yeah,
have you seen it? And I asked Daryl, you know, have you seen it? And he was like, yeah. And it's really cool because it's just, I mean, the only reason I recommend it, I wouldn't recommend buying it. But it's definitely watching if you have Netflix, or if you can rent it somewhere or something like that, because it was really cool to watch. I mean, what did you think of it?
You know what? Let's throw it up, and we'll talk about just a couple. We're not going to tell you what number one is. We don't want to ruin it. But I mean, you know, all right. Well, 17 right here.
Yeah.
All right, Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon battle.
This one should probably be lower.
Yeah,
on the list.
Yeah, lower as in closer to
number one.
Number one. Yeah. Okay. I agree 100%, because I remember that match like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just
Kurt
sick.
Angle versus Shane O'Mac.
Yeah, Shane O'Mac. I mean,
here comes the money.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, you know, the belly to back, or the belly to belly suplexes through the glass. A couple times he wouldn't break. He kept doing it. I mean, it was great. I remember watching this because I saw it on Netflix not too long ago, and I watched it. And I'm like, man, this is really cool, you know. And I'm like, I was really getting into it. Some of them I agreed with. Yeah. Some of them I was like, really?
The concept of the DVD or the show or the movie was, you know, to really show moments that you were like, did that really just happen? Or, you know what I mean? Or like, oh my God, that just happened. You know what I mean? Some WTF moments.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
now some of them, like the Stone Cold where he drops his Zamboni.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that was okay. Should it be 14?
Probably not.
You know,
out of 50?
I really don't know. So, I mean, you know, let's scroll down some. If I get our producer to scroll down a little bit. Don't go to number one now. We don't want to give anything away. Yeah. Now, I remember this one.
Yeah.
I watched this one as it happened. That's how old I am.
At the time period, 1984.
I'm a little older than these people here. But
I wasn't born yet at this point. So I've only seen clips of this. So.
Piper hits Snuka with the coconut.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of the most, like, just jaw-dropping, especially for that time period.
Yeah.
It was just a big ordeal. Like holy cow, I can't believe that just happened. Just like blew people's minds. Because that was back before it was really entertainment how it is now.
Yeah.
And it still had that more, I mean, I hate saying this, but that more real quality to it that people still didn't quite know, because you didn't have the internet and you didn't have all the, you know, the dirt sheets like what we have now and able to access everything and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that one should definitely be, you know, where it's at. 12 right here, I think, should be a little higher. It's where WWE buys WCW are a little. I think it should be closer to. I think it should be in the top 10, honestly.
Yeah.
Because they simulcast.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not when they bought WWE or WCW. We all kind of knew that was coming, so that wasn't so much of a OMG moment. You know what I mean? But the fact that they gave it, in the story, they gave it to Shane McMahon, and it was Shane versus. I don't like where they went with it later on.
I think they waited too long.
Yeah, I mean, but the whole Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon, I think at the beginning of that time, like when that happened, I was like, "What just happened, Shane McMahon?"
I know. I was stoked because I remember what. I mean, everybody knew what happened. Everybody knew WWE's buying WCW. Everybody knew that was the last WCW event. Everybody knew it. But what we did not expect was Shane McMahon coming out on WCW, and it was a simulcast event.
Yeah.
You had WCW and WWE at the same time.
On two different
on two different channels.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there is history in itself.
Yeah.
And they have it at number 12. I think it should be top 10 easily.
Yeah.
This one right here should definitely not be in the top 10.
Shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah. Well, maybe like closer to 50, but it's Big Show's father's funeral.
Yeah.
This is back when they were still trying to sell Andre the Giant as Big Show's father.
Yeah.
Okay, and Big Show was feuding with the Big Boss Man. Okay, and Big Boss Man comes up and he has a hearse and hooks it to the casket and drives off, and Big Show's like all up on the casket, and it was horrible. Is it an OMG moment? Probably.
At the time,
At
maybe,
the time.
But
in today's context, like, because that was in 99, so I mean, that was 14 years ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's been a while. So, I mean, so at that time period, I mean, what do you think? Did you watch it? I mean, I watched it live.
No, I didn't see that live because at the time I was more of a WCW guy.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really following WWF at the moment. You know what I mean? So I was more WCW. So I didn't catch that. I don't know. Number 9 is Montreal Screwjob, which
everybody. If you know anything about wrestling or call yourself a fan of wrestling,
you know that moment. Yeah, you know that moment when they rang the bell on Bret Hart when he never tapped out, from Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
and
it was Earl Hebner.
Yeah, and so one of them on there, way up in the top of the list, was Earl Hebner, and they had like a twin of Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
Back in a long
Dave
time.
Hebner?
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'd never seen that.
You didn't know he had a twin brother?
No, that flipped me out. That was a good one. I was like, man, that was an OMG moment watching the show. But really, the DVD was great. Like I said, I wouldn't suggest buying it.
No, absolutely
but
not.
Definitely worth watching on Netflix if you have Netflix. Other than that, can you think of any that you think should have been on the thing? Or
I don't know about should be on the thing, because I mean I can think of a lot of stuff that's happened like now that would make good on the list.
Yeah.
But there's some things I think shouldn't be on there, or not necessarily shouldn't be on there. Should it be where they're at on there?
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and say one of them. It's the whole Brian Pillman Stone Cold thing where Brian Pillman has a gun.
Yeah.
To me, that's a little too highly ranked. That's number 4, I think.
It's pretty low on the list.
Yeah, it's pretty close to number. I think it's number 4 is what it is.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, to me, that shouldn't be there. I mean, it's ridiculous, and I'm not sure that I agree with. Number 1, with the number 1 OMG moment.
I don't know. We're not going to say it, but I think number 1 is probably one of my favorite moments of all time. I definitely favorite.
Oh wait. I'm getting mixed up with number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we talk about that in a second?
Yeah.
Number 1, absolutely. Number 2
Yeah.
shouldn't even be number 2. That should be in the
it should be
30s or
pretty
40s
far.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good moment. It was an original moment.
Well,
I won't say what number 2 is either. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, we definitely want you to watch it because it is worth watching.
All right. So I'm going to throw this at you. We hadn't talked about this. On an icon scale of 1 to 10, how many icons do you give it?
I would say 7.
I was going to say 6.5.
Yeah, that's around where I'm at. Definitely, I'd say an 8 or above is worth buying.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
A 4 to 7 is worth watching. Under
anything that is
4.
worth pirating. or
or
stealing your friend's DVD who was stupid enough to buy it.
Yeah, or just ask somebody about it.
Yeah, or go on YouTube and just look it up.
Highlights or something. There. Yeah, because it was good. It was definitely worth watching. Just because, like we were talking about, Shane McMahon, it really makes you miss some of those Shane McMahon moments. You wish he could still do that.
Well, I mean, I know for you that like some of those moments happened before you was born.
Yeah.
So it had to be cool for you, I would think, to see things like, oh man, that's awesome. I didn't know that happened, or I'd never seen that before.
Why I asked you, like, did you think of anything that should have been on there? And one that I thought should have been on there in the top 50. I wasn't around at the time and I wasn't watching, but I was thinking that the body slam between Hogan and
Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3.
I guess I wasn't around at the time to really say, oh my God, but for me watching it backwards, I think that's one of the OMG moments where you just like, he picked him up. You didn't expect him to do a body slam because he was just so big. What I mean? But
now, I don't know if this one made it on there or not. I can't remember because there was 50 of them. Was the one on there with Big John Studd and Andre the Giant, where Andre the Giant body slams Big John Studd and takes his bag of money?
No.
You don't even know what moment I'm talking about.
No.
All right. At the time, Big John Studd, oh man, I'm telling my age. Big John Studd, he obviously, his name, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody could body slam him. And so he walked around with this duffel bag of money, which to us, the duffel bag is probably like this, but in his hands, it looked like this.
Yeah.
And so he was offering like $5,000 or something, or something like that, to anybody who could body slam him. And Andre the Giant came out and body slammed him and took the bag of money, opened it up, and started throwing it into the audience. So I would say that should be on there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then one moment, I think, should 100% be in the top 10 now that I think about it. Scaffolding match, Midnight Express versus the Road Warriors. Jim Cornette climbs up there, it drops down, and like just kills both his knees, like breaks, like blows out both his knees.
Yeah.
And I think that should definitely be up there. I would imagine WCW owns the rights to this because they own the rights to everything else.
Yeah.
And that was I think that happened.
Yeah,
you know what? I don't know, because I think that was when WCW, before they became WCW, still NWA.
Yeah, part of NWA.
So, and they don't own the rights to NWA. So
yeah, but a 7 or 6 out of 10 icons. I think it's.
All right, if there's anything you want us to review in that kind of segment, let us know. We'll talk about other products, DVDs, stuff like that. I referenced the DVD earlier. That's going to be one of them we talk about in the next coming couple of weeks or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and we'll probably, we got to check it to see if we can. We might try and play a couple little clips. Maybe we can get a preview or something. I don't think that would be bad if we do like a preview of the DVD and show it on our Icontron. So, let us know what you think about that. Right now, all right, we talked last weekend about Ring of Honor. I'm really getting high on Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, because one of my new favorite wrestlers, Kevin Steen, is and his package pile driver is freaking amazing. So I said last week I would go over the results of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if any of y'all got to pay-per-view. There was some streaming trouble. A lot of people, it would cut in, cut out, and a lot of people just having issues with it overall.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all's experience was. Unfortunately, I didn't get to get it because I happened to not be in town that night. So, but I have all the results right here, and so we're going to discuss it. I'm going to be reading off my screen right here. This one guy I'm fixing to talk about his first match. It is B.J. Whitmer defeats Mike Bennett via pinfall. Now, I don't know if y'all have heard, but Mike Bennett just signed a WWE developmental contract, and so he's going to be leaving from Ring of Honor pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think he only has a couple more matches scheduled with them, or on his contract with them, and he's going to be going to WWE developmental, so I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, he'll probably be on NXT sometime.
Yeah, well, because WWE is getting ready coming up in the next couple of weeks, opening up that huge facility down Orlando, Miami, somewhere around there, South Florida, that they're going to be actually filming NXT at.
Yeah.
So now the American Wolves, which is Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, they defeated HCH and Tartarus Thomas. Man, I know I'm screwing up his name.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Adam Cole defeats Roderick Strong via countout. Michael Elgin defeats...
let me back you out there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it, but anytime something ends in a countout, especially on a pay-per-view, I don't know. I can't judge it because we didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't agree with a countout.
Yeah, I don't either.
On a pay-per-view,
honestly. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Especially with Ring of Honor, because they get to the fans sometimes or fighting in the crowd, and I just think that's a dumb way to end a match.
Well, but we could be way off.
Yeah, we don't know what happened.
They could have been like high flying off the rafters or something and got counted out.
Yeah, they could have been went to Wendy's next door or something and was eating a cheeseburger and got counted out. We don't know. We don't know what happened. So if y'all know what happened exactly, shoot us a message. Let us know.
Yeah.
So now,
but countouts are kind of
I just don't agree with countouts. I lost my cursor there. All right, Michael Elgin defeats Tommaso Ciampa. I know I butchered that name. I'm like horrible with names. Horrible. I'm probably the wrong one to be reading this stuff. Via pinfall. Matt Taven defeats Jay Lethal and Jimmy Jacobs to retain the television title. And then Red Dragon defeats CNC Wrestling Factory and Cliff Compton and Rhett Titus of Scum to retain the tag team champions. All right, now this is where it gets interesting because this is the match that we was really talking about.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's one of my favorite wrestlers now against one of his favorite wrestlers of all time. It's Matt Hardy, I hate saying this, defeats Kevin Steen via pinfall.
That's right.
Now, Steen came out and he requested that the match be made no disqualification so he could do whatever he had to do to defend himself against Scum, and Nigel McGuinness agreed, and then Hardy won with a lot of interference, okay, from his stable mates, and that was another match that was marred by a bunch of streams cutting in and out.
Yeah, well, hey, Steen requested no disqualification, so...
Yeah, I mean, he kind of... Now, there's more to it. Carino and Hardy's group continue to beat down Mr. Wrestling, Kevin Steen, after the bell. So, I mean, there's going to be more to it. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens that comes of that. Now, as y'all know, Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, they're brothers.
Yeah.
They was fighting for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Okay. Now, they're brutal fighters. Anyways, if you've seen any of their matches,
they're
they fight
amazing
real tough.
workers. I mean, as an indie wrestler, watching their promos, you know what I mean. Some of their promos come off like they pull off just the redneck gimmick, you know what I mean. But then when you watch them wrestle, they're, you know what I mean, they're in gear and they look good. I mean, because most of the redneck gimmicks out there, they still wrestle in jeans and t-shirt or something.
Yeah,
you know?
well,
and
now here's the thing about this. Okay, Jay Briscoe, the older brother, he won. He retains the title. Now, we was talking last week. I believe I mentioned last week. Matt Hardy wants to fight Jay Briscoe, but here's the catch: both Briscoes, their contracts are up after this pay-per-view. So this pay-per-view was their last contract obligation to Ring of Honor. All right, and now all the talk is they're going to go to WWE.
We'll see. They're a bit vulgar for WWE, so they would have to pull them back,
I'm
pull in the
curious to
reins
see
a little bit. And I don't
what
know
they would do,
personally,
what kind of characters they would do.
Yeah, I thought maybe they would join the Wyatt family and make a bigger stable.
I tend to disagree with that.
Well, I mean, I don't. Honestly, I don't think it'll happen. I wish it kind of would because I'm really getting tired of WWE with the 3-person stables.
Yeah, they need to be like
the 3-man or the 6-man tags all the time. They're just ruining the tag team division by diluting it with all these 3-person groups.
Yeah, to me that's crazy. But I'm curious very curious to see how it's going to happen with Jay being the Ring of Honor heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Their contracts being up. Matt Hardy already saying he wants to fight Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? I mean, is Ring of Honor going to renew them?
Yeah.
I would absolutely. I would not let them leave.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see. I would like to see them stay.
Yeah.
Because I think they could be more of who they are, staying in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Versus going to WWE and becoming
watered down.
Yeah, a Vince McMahon puppet. Pretty much. Or probably now more so Triple H, whatever he wants, because isn't he in charge of talent relations now or something?
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean...
he's running the company now or something. I don't know what it is. But, I mean, I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm curious to see how that plays out, what they're going to do. And obviously, my feelings is I want them to resign. I want them to stay at Ring of Honor.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, they have a good platform right there. And so, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah. So, now, all right, it was a pretty good show today, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of content, a great guest. Please go check him out. Check out his YouTube page. We'll have links for everything that we talked about. What do you got going on this weekend?
This weekend is mine and my girlfriend's anniversary, so 3 years to us, which is great.
Yeah, congratulations.
So, thank you. So we won't be able to make it to any shows.
Oh, we're not going to go to Russell? I thought we was going to agree to take her to a Russell show as an anniversary present.
That was discussed, but it didn't go over quite well. So
yeah, we discussed that at dinner, and her face was not that exciting. And I believe a knife got brandished for a second.
Almost, or something.
So I think we had Nick's eye tip for that. We got 4th of July coming up next week.
And next week we have planned for Funkmaster V to come on.
Yeah, he's right here. Hey, executive producer, can you scroll over this right here, please? Or just take it off. That's okay. Right here, where it says Funkmaster V. Can you pull that up?
Well, just click on one of these pictures.
Yeah, click on one of his pictures.
Well.
Oh, there we go. It looks like he's getting bit. This is him right here.
Yeah.
We're hoping, if everything works out right, he will be our guest for next week's show. Yeah. We've already talked to him. He has a bunch of... I don't even know what
he's goofy as hell.
He's hilarious.
And he's very good at promoting himself, promoting his brand, and he makes a lot of YouTube videos. So we're excited to talk to him.
Well, because he parodies products.
Yeah.
he parodied a Wax Vac, that thing that you put in your ear that like sucks out all the debris. Yeah. And there's like one spot where he like shoves a Q-tip and there's like blood and just like it's fake blood.
He does.
It's funny.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff. Look at him here. He's
riding a little girl's bicycle with a fur coat.
He brings entertainment and he brings an experience.
Anybody with the name Funk Master V.
Well, we look forward to having you next week.
Hopefully it works out. We talked to him. He's out of Tennessee. I know Ian and I was talking before the show. We definitely want to try and get out to one of his shows. Yeah. Because we both watched his videos. He's very active. Here's his profile right here. Yeah. He's in Tennessee.
Career highlights. Look at
all his highlights right here. And he has video. Look, here's some of his videos right here. There's the Wax Vacs. There's something where he kisses Justin Bieber and hypnotized. Yeah. I mean, he has videos up there. Please go check him out. I'm telling you, he's funny. Yeah. We really hope it works out that he's on the show next week. Other than that, I don't really have anything else going on.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. So we just want to definitely thank Becca, our producer, to getting everything going, and our makeup artist getting our sweat off of us.
Trixie Rotten.
So
maybe one day y'all can meet Trixie Rotten. We'll see.
Yeah.
Our sound guy Garrett Michael, or sound tech rather, Garrett Michael.
And tonight we didn't have catering.
Yeah, we didn't have Nina's catering tonight. We had
Shane's Rib Shack.
Shane's Rib Shack. We'll give him a free plug. We had Shane's Rib Shack.
Yeah.
So and Ian's girlfriend, gosh, she ate like 2 full racks of ribs. Yeah. Like a mound of just macaroni. She's only like this big. I don't know where she puts all this food. It's crazy. shoveling it down. It was like all you could eat rib night. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But all right, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.